Good evening and welcome back to Live from the Tower. I am your host, Minister Teresa Baker. I'm an associate minister at the Garden of Prayer Christian Church. And I am so excited to be launching episode 2 of our new show, Live from the Tower. So Live from the Tower, again, is a show that was a vision given to me by God when I accepted my calling. And as a result, this show has launched to share testimonies, give any and everybody an opportunity to share their testimony, their stories, their experiences. And we have our second guest here, Sister Rhonda, better known as Ro. So you may hear me call her Ro because she is a friend of mine. Ro, we met through a mutual friend, and ever since we have been developing our own friendship. And so I know a little bit about your testimony that you wanted to share with us tonight. Raising children with a disability. And more importantly, in the Black community where resources may not be as available. So without further delay, I am going to go ahead and have you introduce yourself the way you feel comfortable with, and go ahead and start telling your testimony.
Okay. So hello everyone. Please forgive me. I'm battling with a cold here. But I am Sister Rhonda White. I am a member of the Tree of Life Baptist Church under Pastor Sharon D. McLean. Hey Tree. Sure. Like Teresa stated before, yes, we met through two mutual friends actually. And then we just became close. So this Teresa's a pet. So I chose this topic actually because Sister Jessica, your first guest, was like, was a good topic for you to talk about because me and Jackie has been friends for like 30 years. So she saw everything that I was going through and she said you can help someone. So I'm sort of kind of a private person, but then when she said it, I prayed on it, and then like after the show, it was just like God was like, all right, you have second guess, talk about it. So I was like, okay, I have learned to obey. Even when I don't want to, I'm gonna obey. So my journey actually started. My daughter was born. Her name is Brianna in 2002. I believe it was 2005. It was either 2005 or 2006. That's when I found out that Brianna was diagnosed with autism. Mm-hmm. I knew what autism was. That's my sign.
I love it.
I knew what autism was, but I never experienced it. Mm-hmm. I do have a family member who does have autism, but he doesn't around much, so we didn't know anything about it. Honestly, when you hear autism, not race blaming or anything, but I've seen a lot of Caucasian kids with it. I've never seen it in the African American community.
Okay.
What finally got her diagnosed was when Brianna started, walking and everything. Brianna was very nonverbal. Mm. If she wanted you to do something, she'll grab your hand and point, and she just would not talk. So I thought she had a speech delay. I had a few people who was around her and was like, you need to get her checked out. Mm. And I'm like, you know how we get mama baby. Don't talk about my baby.
Right.
And God has a way of talking through me, which is crazy, through TV.
Okay.
So
anything.
Yeah. So and I watch TV. I watch the craziest stuff on TV. And for the longest time, I kept seeing autism commercials. They was just running rampant. But of course, when you see a commercial, what do you see? A little Caucasian child.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, not paying it no mind, like, what keep showing all these commercials and all this other stuff. So as time progressed, I started seeing things that was actually on the commercial, like the lining up of the toys, the non-verbal. So I said, okay, took her to a doctor. Her doctor was like, they need to stop putting timelines on kids. Kids go develop when they're going to develop.
Oh, now this is the doctor.
Then this is the doctor.
Okay.
So at this time, my mom is saying something too, like, I don't think something is right. And I was like, well, look, this is what her doctor said. So grandma bear, because she don't play about her grandbaby now.
Right.
You need to get a new doctor. So I'm just like, oh. So I remember what happened, but I ended up reaching out to Baltimore Infants and Toddlers, telling them everything that was going on with Brianna. So they ran some tests, and then they called me in for a follow-up appointment and said, we have the test results for Brianna. We need you and Brianna to come in. So my mom couldn't make it because she just started this new job. So my older sister went with me. And excuse me, I'll never forget. Lady came in, looked me in my face, blank expression, and was, your daughter has autism. She'll never talk to you. She'll never tell you she loves you.
Wow.
You need to learn sign language.
Wow.
Your child will never communicate, and walked out.
Wow.
I said, whoa, wait a minute. Like, what are you
what kind of delivery is that?
I mean, I'm like,
and so how old are you at this time? At this time, how old are you?
At this time, I had to be at least 24 because I had Brianna when I was 21.
Wow.
She was 3 years old when she got diagnosed with autism. So another African-American lady came in, and I'm just like, eyes wide, big, like trying to digest what this lady just told me. So the lady said, I want you to do this. Every time you on a car ride, I want you to talk to this child like you would talk to any other child. She said, your child will talk.
I know that's right.
Don't pay no money to learn no sign language, because if you learn it, you're crippling her. Just talk to her. I said, okay. So I'm still looking at sign language to teach her, but then I started talking to her more. And at that time, she got to go to school in September. Now I found out that it was in July when I found out she was diagnosed with autism. So I got in the car, and I was trying to be strong, not to cry in front of her, because Brianna can read my emotions. Even though she talk, she could read my emotions. And that's how she would understand what I was saying. It was through my emotions. And I couldn't hold it in. I just bust out crying. Like, oh my God, they told me she never gonna talk to me. I gotta go learn sign language. And I was a mess. Wow. So we called my mom. I let her dad know the results. And the one thing I really want us to stop doing is asking whose side of the family it runs on. Wow. Because autism is not hereditary. So we don't know why.
That's a good point. That's a good point, because we do tend to put stigmas on situations when we identify that somebody is different outside of what we consider normal. So that is an awesome point that we need to become aware of our response when things like this happens in our families. So awesome. Yeah, definitely.
So then another thing was, it was the vaccines. So at that time, I'm thinking it too. And I'm like, they didn't poison my child. And you have so much stuff running through your head. Right. And then to the point where, and like I said, I'm gonna be very transparent. I question God. Like, why I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I mean, is this the punishment I get? I know I had a child out of wedlock, but for my child not to communicate, why me? Why me? And I fell into a
I'm still questioning God when things come about that I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? What is, so I believe that that is a very normal response to trauma, bad news, bad situations. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. So I can't remember when she actually started talking.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I fell into, like, for years, I fell into a very, very deep depression because I just did not know how my child was going to take things. To the point where, like I said, she read on my emotions to where she would not leave my side. It was hard taking her to school, but I knew she had to go to school. I mean, we almost screamed to the top of her lungs, and I would hear her all the way down the street. That, like, that she wouldn't leave my side. Now she just dip out on me in the bed. Bye, mommy.
Well, now not only are you caring for a child with a disability, you're caring for a child with a disability with depression.
Well, I was depressed.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
now there's a whole other factor in your circumstance because depression, limits us, our focus and our attention, our focus, our drive. So you have to continue to move forward and try to be there for your daughter and make sure she's okay while you are not okay.
My mental was halfway gone. Like,
talk to us about your where are you with your faith at this point, Rhonda?
This point, my faith is strong.
Wow.
I believe that God knew I can handle it and I couldn't see it. And he gave me this precious gift.
Yeah.
And I would not trade this gift for the world. It's trials and tribulations that we still go through. As you know, fast forward to now, Brianna is 19.
Right.
But it's we found a great church home where my whole family is welcome. They don't see Brianna as just a different child. They treat Brianna like so wonderful. They let her sing, they let her dance. She is, when we go to church, because I work retail, so that's not hard. But when we go to church, always welcome with open arms. And
that is so awesome to hear. It really, really is. That is awesome to hear because you hear so much negativity about the church buildings now and the worship centers that it is a deterrent. So I'm glad that you are well connected, have a loving pastor and a loving church environment. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And Pastor used to babysit Brianna.
And she had, right, Pastor Sharon has a lot of experience with children and child development. So it sounds like it's divine. Like I don't really give a lot to coincidence. I really don't. I believe in alignment and things happening as God wants them to happen. So that does my heart really, really good that align like that for you because you need that support. You need that support and you need that time to worship and praise, and your daughter is safe and comfortable and active and is received. Awesome. I'm happy that you found Pastor Sharon and the Tree of Life. Awesome.
Me too.
So now you have Ian. And Ian is not artistic.
No, he's not.
Okay.
So when I had Ian, I was petrified because the only thing is not understood is that even though they say it's not hereditary, that when a woman gives birth to an autistic child, it is an 80% chance that your second child will have autism.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So when I found out I was pregnant with Ian,
Immediately scared. Immediately
I was
afraid.
like, two. I kept on saying 2 of them.
Oh.
2. Oh my gosh. And then at this time, I'm like, how is Brianna going to accept being a big sister with a baby in the house?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even consider that.
Out for 11 years. They are 11 years apart.
Didn't even consider that. I didn't even think that far, that she has challenges of environments.
Yes.
So now you're going to drastically change her environment by bringing another baby home. Wow.
It's not just mommy and Brianna no more. It's mommy and Brianna, and she's bringing home a baby. So the whole, you know, I talked to Brianna. You know, I let her see my belly when the baby kicked. I let her feel the baby kick. And it's like, you're gonna be like, make it a party. You're gonna be a big sister. And whenever I will buy Ian stuff, I will buy her stuff, and just not to keep her, you know, try to keep her out of the loop. She's actually a great big sister. She tell him, sometimes I'll be wondering who the mother, me or her.
Oh. And look, and just to think how that seed of how that seed was originally tried to the lady tried to plant that seed in you, that your daughter will not do this, your daughter will not ever do this, your daughter will never tell you I love you, and things like that. And it's the total opposite.
Total opposite. I will never forget this day. This was at her 5th grade graduation. Ann was a baby, and we went, and they were lining up to give a speech. And it was me, my mom, my niece, and Brianna's dad in the audience. And we looking and saying, why Brianna up there? Like, they giving speeches. Brianna gave a speech at her 5th grade graduation. When I say it was not a dry tear.
Oscar.
I was my thumb was dropped for a little in, because that thought came in my head, like, this is the lady who told me that my child would never talk. I would never get her to shut up.
And she's standing up there winning Oscars. See what I mean? I go ahead, Bree.
And the thought came to my head, just as the scriptures say, put faith in no man. That woman could not tell me that would no, because God is more powerful. God said, you're going to handle this. You're going to go through some ups. You're going to go through some downs, but you have to have faith.
I love it. I love when the victory shows itself. I just love it because there's so much working against our faith. There's so much working against it and out there trying to disprove our faith. And we're crazy for believing in God without being able to see or without knowing what's going to happen.
Right.
But that faith, but talk to us about, what do you think things would have been like if you did not have that foundation of faith?
I would be in Shepherd Pratt mental hospital with the pain.
Not Shepherd Pratt.
I would have lost my mind if I did not have my faith and my family and my friends, the 3 F's. Like,
the 3 F's.
Girl, you would have heard Jussie them like, you know, we had this friend. She's a now permanent resident of Shepherd Pratt, because it's a lot. It is a lot. It's no, and the reason why I put emphasis on the Black community is, like I said, we don't talk about it. Everything is just bottled in, and I know it is a lot of children out here African American that has autism. Like Brianna has 17 kids in her class.
See, see. And you
And,
out there and you think you're alone in these
and
situations, and you're not. You're not. That is the whole reason behind why I believe God has this show going and providing that platform, because we have to break through that thought that when we encounter adversity, or when we encounter traumatic situations in our lives, that it is only us. I believe that produces a part of the mental illness that we are seeing in a rise in the community. Just that no fellowship, no kind of knowledge that you are not alone. You are a part of the body of Christ, which means you'll never ever be alone.
Absolutely.
It's my desire and hope to push that thought process through and strengthen that area, so that we are willing to share, willing to connect, willing to offer resources and things like that, and not think that if we offer resources, or if I recommend somebody to something, that it takes away from me.
That you hit that. It was, and it is like, okay, so I've been trying to get Brianna into all these kind of programs, right? I then went to Kennedy Krieger, I then went to Autism Speaks, I then went to Pathfinders. Now, the only way she could get into Kennedy Krieger, now mind you, Kennedy Krieger had the whole autistic clinic.
Yeah,
go
they're
down,
very well known.
The only reason why they saw Brianna was because her dad knew someone that knew the name.
Couldn't walk. You felt like you couldn't walk off the street and get in.
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
And it's so sad, because I'm like, here you go, you have this clinic, and there's people out there that needs your services. And then, okay, another incident. So a lot of people don't know this, but for a couple years, I didn't have Brianna. I fell on a hardship after Ian going, like maybe Ian was 3. My apartment. And I had to I let Brianna live with my mom, because that was her comfort zone.
Right.
And me and Ian moved in with Mike's mom. So things were going kind of slow as me getting back on my feet. Actually, I just got Brianna back the beginning of this year.
Your family is all back together. All you and the
two babies in my house.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Let me tell you how prayer works.
Yes.
I prayed when I moved into that 1-bedroom apartment, and Brianna was visiting me, and I just didn't feel whole. I just didn't feel complete, and I was falling into another depression, because my biggest fear was I failed as a mother. I had to leave my disabled child with my mother, which actually it was now that I said it, I had to do it because my mental was gone.
Come on.
And thank God for my mother and father, because they took care of Brianna.
Yeah.
To this day. I prayed, and when I said, I was talking to a friend, and I was like, "Yep, when I move into my 2-bedroom, I'm like, Brianna will come back." And a situation happened. Now, sometimes when Brianna gets upset, and this is another trait of autism, they can get a little volatile.
Okay.
And what happened was she got, I'm a man open and honest.
Right.
She got violent with my mom. I don't know what it was,
right.
But she will always get violent with my mom. So I said, you know what, it's enough. God told me, you go take her, and I'm gonna increase your territory. I said, okay, I'm gonna listen. So we was cramped up in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Mhm.
And this is how things, when you have faith, this falls into order. God said, start looking for a bigger apartments. So this is where I found that now, where I'm at. It's technically 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms and a den. I said, Jesus, I can't afford this. You see my paycheck? I said, then that my credit bad. Okay, get credit. So I started writing every little vision that I saw, because like I said, God talks to me through TV. He said, this child watched too much TV to decide on how to get my credit together, like apartments and stuff. So I said, okay, writing it up. So if you ever see the background, these are all my visions and stuff that I had. And I pray over them daily. So I apply for cross country, where I'm at now. Got it. Cheapest security deposit.
Come on.
Then I said, okay, I got it. I don't know how I'm gonna pay this rent, but I got it because I'm living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Where at Fort Lee, this one is a little bit higher. I lied to you not. That day, the same day, I got an offer to be a store manager at Dollar Tree.
I just love it. I love it.
That is going to be you and your children.
Safely under a roof. I love it. I love it. So if you could offer some closing advice to anyone that is experiencing or maybe going through the same thing that you are dealing with in your life, what would that be?
Pray.
Nothing greater.
Yes, you have to pray. Like, and sometimes I just be walking through the house and talking to God, and I know my kids be like, Lord, mommy crazy. I don't know who she talking to, but you have to pray.
Yeah.
Another thing is that, and this especially when your child is in school and they have what they call IEPs. Do not be ashamed to tell them people to dumb it down. Because when you go into these meetings, they acting like you like this professor and you know what they're talking about. If you don't leave that meeting and don't understand nothing of where the level of your child is, you let them know, excuse me, I need you to dumb it down.
Hear that?
And then another thing.
Break it down.
Right. Like, I didn't go to school for this.
Right. Exactly. That's a great point. Exactly. So they need to talk to us in layman's terms so that we can put it all together. Because you don't want to have to go home and continue to care for your daughter. So you need to receive that information. Exactly. Well, Rhonda, I thank you so much for sharing. It takes a willing heart, and it takes a heart that understands that my story and my testimony is for someone else.
Yes.
It's to light the next person, to inspire them, to encourage them that things will be okay. Things will be okay. And I believe in that. I believe in that sharing and that connection. So I just thank you from my heart that you were willing to be transparent and just give us some insight on what raising a child with disability is like, and just how transparent you were and how real your story is. Thank you so much for being willing to do that. I did neglect to on the first episode make sure that I extend and offer an invitation to Jesus Christ. I am a minister at the Garden of Prayer Christian Church, and I absolutely believe in the power of Jesus Christ, receiving him, accepting him. And if you have questions about that or questions about our faith, I am a minister at the Garden of Prayer Christian Church, and you are always welcome to come visit us on Sundays. Our pastor, Dr. Brenda Tuggle, is always operating with an open door policy. She would love to receive you. She would love to hear from you. So I did want to make sure that I get that in at today's show. But again, I wanted us to thank our guests for today, Sister Ro. And Ro, we really, really wish the best for you. I know you had that faith alone has you secured and covered. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for how God is moving in your life and securing you and your family and just strengthening you. There's nothing greater than the power of faith. So thank you so much again, bro, and continue to be blessed.
Thank you. And just know that you're not alone. If you need someone to talk to, feel free. You can inbox me. I am a little bit of workaholic, but I will stop. I will pray for you. Any resources that I have that I can share, just words, because it's an everyday fight. And I'm not a minister, but if you need a church home, I know the Garden of Prayer, the Tree of Life.
Yeah,
you have to
we got a list.
home.
Yeah,
because you cannot do this alone. You're not alone. Your faith, your family, especially your faith, because if not, you'll be at, never to get Shepherd Prayer, but you'll be at Shepherd Prayer, and these babies need you. You know, they need their moms.
Absolutely. I love it. Absolutely. I agree. Everything you said. Absolutely. So again, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 2. And we hope to see you again next week on Live from the Tower. I am your host, Minister Teresa Baker. I love you and take care till next time. Stay connected to the tower.
Yes.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so I think, let me see.